Okay guys, I'm calling this one right here. This shot, this little titty right here, that was my fault. This was me right there. That is not a reflection of the pellets. But this is, let's see here. I don't know what's with this camera, but it looks rather dark. But anyway, like I said, I'm discounting this shot right here. I'm calling that was a flyer. So the center to center for this group is realistically about we'll call it 0.127 inches. The whole group is just about a quarter of an inch, less than a quarter of an inch, 0.222. The H&N Hornet is without a doubt the most accurate hollow point pellet out of my rifle. At 10 yards, this is pupil of an eyeball of a squirrel accurate. The 25, you know, I'm using this Octane Elite, and it's not the most accurate rifle. So what you can achieve with these out of, you know, a PCP that likes them, that's a whole different story. You could probably use these to 50 yards with something, you know, that accurate. But for me, 25 yards is about the limit, and I'm going to show you that. So stay tuned for that. It's coming up. Okay guys, I was rushed for time here and shit, but I'll tell you right now, I'm calling this one and this one is flyers. That was my fault. This is our group here, and I think I did it right, and there's 10 shots in here. But our measurement, center to center, oops, it's millimeters. Center to center is about, say, 0.4 inches, 0.408. So about 3/8 of an inch roughly. That's not too bad. It's like I said, I would call this a 25-yard pellet. Yeah, I mean that's oh, hell, I don't know if I have any change on me. Hold on. Oh, I do. All I have is, there's a penny. Easily covers it. I don't have any dimes or nickels. But, yeah. It's about the limit, I'd say, out of my rifle anyway. It's a break barrel, you know, and free-floating action, so it's not the world's most accurate setup, but you know, this size group, 25 yards, that's perfectly acceptable. Okay guys, let's have a look at the carnage. This is the, no this isn't it. This is the ideal test where it just penetrated the rubber glove. And as expected, this pellet penetrated. Pellet expanded beautifully. See that? Completely inverted. The tip fell out. That's actually in my hand here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but see it up here? There's our tip. And obviously I'll get you pictures and measurements, but let's have a look at the others. This is our soft target test. And as you can tell, there's no water in this bottle. And that's because it split it. It went the whole way through and split the back of this bottle from impact, not from pressure. But unfortunately, this did not expand, which surprises me. That deformation is from hitting the side of the bottle or the back of the bottle. It did not expand. It did not invert, did not expand. Disappointing. That's a little disappointing. That's a lot disappointing. Now the hard target, which is also empty, as you can see. It also impacted the back of the bottle and split it. And this one also did not expand. Which was, I predicted that, but that's also unfortunate. Now it did deform some from going through that, you know, plastic skull material, but not nearly as much as other pellets, and this sharp, hard tip is why. And unquestionably, these pellets penetrated further and with more retained energy than any other pellets that I've tested. No other pellet, I think, I don't think any of them have actually split the bottle in the back. So, what do we make of all this? Is the Terminator, or not Terminator, is the Hornet worth $25 for 200 pellets? Man, I can't call it on this, because the purpose of an H&N Hornet, in my opinion, is to penetrate things. Yeah, it's sort of designed to expand, but not that much, really. It's, you know, even the fully expanded one from the Ideal case is, you know, not that impressive compared to some of the others I've tested. So it's the penetrative qualities that I would assume most people would buy the Hornet for. So I'm going to have to test these in a different way. If I was to call it right now and say, shooting, you know, small furry animals in the body, is there an advantage using a Hornet over some other expanding pellet? No. No, I don't think there is, aside from the fact that the H&N Hornet is the most accurate pellet, expanding style pellet, out of my rifle. So, no, not on small bodied, you know, rats. I shouldn't be shooting $25 pellets at the rats. Now, what about a raccoon? Skull shot. Well, I've shot a raccoon in the head with these, and I don't think I want to show you that picture in this review, but I'll tell you right now, he was looking down like this when I shot him, and I shot him right in the crown of the head. you know, right where that crown is behind the ear, or well, between the ears. I hit him right in it and aimed back towards his medulla, back where his spine attaches to his skull. And the pellet made a perfectly beautiful punched hole the size of the pellet, and you could clearly see brain matter in there, you know, oozing out of the hole. But I've had that exact same result with a domed pellet. So up to a raccoon in size, and considering a skull shot, is there an advantage to using the H&N Hornet over a dome? No, I don't think so. I don't. This is an accurate pellet, but it's not as accurate as my domes. So I'm more accurate using a dome pellet at any range. So while this is probably going to penetrate easier and retain more energy once it gets inside the brain through the skull than a dome would, because of how much a dome would expend energy in deforming the pellet itself before it gets in there to the brain. You know, is that an advantage? Maybe. So, what is the advantage then to the H&N Hornet and this sharp tip? I would have to say shooting something larger than a raccoon, which, you know, what would that be? A coyote? A hog? Would you shoot a hog with a 25 foot-pound muzzle velocity 22 caliber pellet rifle? If you did, I would suggest using these, but I don't know that I would suggest doing that at all. So I'm gonna have to play with these a little more before I can give you my opinion on, are these H&N Hornets worth $25 for 200? I'm unsure as of right now. I do love the pellet. They have performed outstandingly well for me. Like I said, I've shot a raccoon with them. I've shot rats with them, and I'll tell you now, I don't have the evidence to show you, but the pellet did expand within this few inches, you know, a couple inches of a rat's body. It did expand hydraulically, you know, like it's supposed to. So, but that's no different than like the Cro-Magnon will do the same thing, and they're what, $9 for 200? So, well, this will take more testing. This isn't going to be the be-all and end-all of the H&N Hornet testing, but as of right now, for anything up to the size of a raccoon, I don't see any advantage in using the H&N Hornet. Not when a pellet that's less than half the price would suffice, you know, and maybe exceed the performance of the H&N Hornet in some ways. So you can draw your own conclusions. I present this to you to, you know, evaluate for yourself, but my opinion has been given. Thanks for watching.
Just